Everything's good to go here. Let's see. I don't know if I can be heard. Okay, hopefully everything's good to go here. I don't know if I can be heard. I have to turn up my mic. Turn up the mic. Maybe that's better. I don't know if that is. Hopefully that's alright. Before I continue on here. Alright, let me share this stuff. I don't know if I can hear myself. If you guys can hear me, let me know. Hear myself. You guys hear me? Fine? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe turn up the mic. I don't know. Turn down the music a little bit. Might be better. Or you know, I'll just play test without it. Alright. Let's try share this places. Okay, I can hear myself. I can hear that now. Alright, so I've been playing with this a lot. I'm still playtesting it. But basically, I'm still working on things. I've changed a lot of mechanics in here. Nothing was really broken, but I discovered a lot of things about it. So I discovered a lot of things about this game and how it works, and it doesn't play like you typically think it would. I don't know, there's a lot of cool things that kind of change. Sorry, I'm sharing this to social sites. There is a Steam workshop link that's posted in the description. If you have Tabletop Simulator, you can test it out. I'm going to show you guys stuff and test out more of the mechanics. I have these 2 decks built, but there are other cards in here if you want to swap those out for other ones. I'm still working on a lot more cards. I'm still printing out physical cards for it. I'm still making cool little deck boxes for it. I'm doing a lot of different things for it. I'm just trying to keep playing with it, keep doing it, keep progressing, you know, keep make things better. Like, I printed out more playtest cards, and I was playing with hollows on them. These are physical ones. And then I'm also working on a video game for it called Dimension Unleashed. It's going to be like, there's some crazy things. I have some documentation for it, GDD stuff. Let me share this. I need to share this stuff. So I have a lot of, like, I shared some UI elements and stuff like that. But we're going to do this here. And, sorry, one more place to share this. Okay. So now, we'll start playing this. So, I have 2 rule books here. One's a quick rule book. The other is a bigger rule book. And these are your status counters and stuff. And this is a coin. And I'll explain how things play. I left over here some more attribute cards if you guys want to switch out for some of the water mons that are in there. I don't have a lot of equipment cards yet, but what is there is still usable. I'm gonna start adding more, start playing with more things. These are battle point counters. You're gonna need a calculator. And if you have anything that you want to reference, like, to make sense to you as far as like what's here, there's this quick rule book, and it does have the table of contents. This took me a very long time to write. I took from my rule book, which is about 80 something pages. But this game is not hard to learn. But the cool thing is there's always twists and turns and ways to come back, and no boss creatures can ever, like, you know, they can't just win you the game. There's always ways around things. There's always ways to do things in this game. So I'm going to shuffle these decks up. Whoops, I didn't mean to cut that. I'll rotate it right. Okay, I meant to shuffle it. I'm going to shuffle it again. So, I'm going to show you guys how this works. We're going to play test this. These are the attribute cards for the mons I have in the deck, so let me show you really quick. If I search, these are all the cards in my deck. Now, I changed the way the decks are set up, so what I mean is, there's more mons now to compensate for stalls, because a lot of stalls were happening. I'm going to show you ways the game, I've tried to break the game, but nothing I've done can break the game. I've tried a lot to break the game, and I just can't do it. And I found out why, potentially, is because there's just so many different ways of, like, decisions and consequences of things. So, like, you'll see, and I'll explain it. If you guys have questions, put them in the comments, and I'll answer them. But we're going to start. So let me shuffle up this deck again. Let me shuffle up their deck again. Now, we're going to start here. My hair's getting in my face. Sec. Now, these games I've noticed they're always close. So here's how it starts out. you all draw 6 cards, right? And anything that is level 30 to 40, you play on the field. They're free plays, right? Right now, I don't have the greatest hand, but I do have a level 30 to 40 mon, so I have to play it. And I can't play Winnow because Winnow is a form summon. It has to be form summoned from Caterpie. So, if this player draws their card, right, they're going to draw their cards. 5, 6. And so, what's going to happen is they're going to flip their hand. Now, they got 1, 2, 3 cards, okay? So here's a decision to be made. So maybe they play, you know, they're looking at their cards. Let's say they play Zapple and they play Darate. Or, well, let's say they wait because I don't know if that's in that deck. I don't think that is in the deck. I don't think I can look. I probably should have put it, but I didn't. Well, I can just look right here. It's not in the deck. So, you know what? We're just going to play... We'll play Dari, right? So now they play their cards. I play mine. Now this is how you determine who goes first. So in my rule book, it tells you how to play. Right here, shuffle your draw 6 cards. If you do not have at least one Mon level 1 through 40 in your opening hand, shuffle the hand back into your deck, redraw until you do. Determining who goes first, alright guys? So each player reveals one level 1 to 40 Mon from their hand. Compare the attack values, which you actually play them, so I should probably make that more clarified. But you play the Mons, right? So I have this one. They have 2, right? So right now I kind of have a disadvantage. But Electro Dash has got 40 and Darate's got 40. So check this out. With that being said, guess what? They go back into our hands. And we have to reshuffle. And the reason we have to reshuffle is because somebody has to have Mons in their hands that they have to be stronger. So whoever has the strongest Mon on the field wins the match, or wins who goes first. So I'm going to shuffle mine up. I'm going to draw again. This is not a bad hand. Okay, so now I start with Electro Dash and Darate because those are my 2 cards. Okay, let's see what they start with. Alright, so we're going to flip their cards over. Cool. Now, see, they got Rotomus. We can play Rotomus down, and we can play Zapple. Now, who goes first? Rotomus only has 25 attack. Zapple's got 30. I got 40 and 40. So I get to go first here. Now, it's the wrong card. So we're going to play Electro Dash's attribute cards down. So let's group these together. Now, these are your resource cards you use for Mon's abilities, right? So this is how you use any of their abilities. But there's a caveat to these, because you can't just spam abilities, right? So now that's my turn. I'm gonna play Second Sight, right? So I'm gonna drop. Oh Jesus! Okay, there we go. We're gonna play Second Sight. So I get to draw 2 cards. And so here's a cool thing. I don't have to have Darate here, but I could, right? But instead of having Darate there, I'm going to get rid of Darate for Electri. So these go away. Electri has 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, those are grouped together. Now Electri we're going to use Charge, one of Electri's abilities, to boost his attack by 10. So he's got 110 attack, right? It's got 110. Its turn is not done, but what we are going to do, and see, I didn't even see I had Nywin in my hand, so I made a mistake there. I could have, I could have done what's called a chain summon, but I made a mistake. So now what I'm doing here is I'm playing the Dire Iron Sword. Cards always get upgrades, right? So you get one per turn. So this will go here. And so it gets 1, right? And the reason I used its ability is it has a pool, right? But I took from that pool, so now it has 5. Because it cost 1 from its attribute pool to use its ability called Charge. It has a counter ability, which doesn't cost anything. It's like a passive thing Electri has. It just says Electro Dash, but it isn't right. I think I spelled that wrong, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I forgot my E, I knew it. Okay, anyhow. So I should have done a chain summon, but I didn't. That's okay. But here's what we're gonna do. We got Rotomus and Zapple, right? So what I'm gonna do is with Electri, I'm gonna attack Rotomus. And I'll knock Rotomus out. And so you always move forward to attack. You always push forward, right? So Rotomus gets knocked out, and this person loses 16 battle points. So since I suck at basic math at the moment, I can't think for a minute. Okay, 484. So this drops them right to 484. So that's the player's battle points. So whenever a Mon gets knocked out, they lose battle points, right? Now they got 1 Mon left, but because each Mon has their own action phase, and it's in the book here. Draw phase. There's a hand recovery rule, but we're not on that because we don't have to use a hand recovery rule. Right now we're on what's called an action phase. So during that Mon's action phase, if the Mon recovers HP, deals damage to recovers HP, deals damage to HP or BP, or recovers attribute points, its action phase immediately ends. So because I attacked Rotomus and knocked Rotomus out, Electri's action phase ends. So Electri's action phase is done. Now Electro Dash also gets a boost of 20 points for Dire Iron Sword being on the field, but it's now Electro Dash's action phase. So with Electro Dash, I'm getting 20, so that's 60. But what I could do, and I'm going to use Electro Dash's ability to increase its health, so it's 70 instead, right? I can easily take out Zapple, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to waste to confuse it. And Zapple gets knocked out. They lose 10 more, so they're at 474, right? Whoops. Okay, so 474. Well, once again, what does that do? That ends Electro Dash's action phase. So now it's their turn, right? They're going to draw a card. Now check this out. They do have a Mon, so you have to use the hand recovery only if they have no cards or they have no Mons in their hand. And if they have no Mons on the field, right? But they have a Mon in their hand. So they're going to play Zapple. And I'm going to show you why it might look like I have like an advantage here, right? It's going to look like I have the advantage here because I have Electri, who I level summoned for, and then Electro Dash. Hi, Ball. How you doing, Ball? And so it looks like I have an advantage, right? But here's where the advantage is not quite what you think. So I'm going to use 1 point right now from Zapple, and I'm going to blind Electro Dash. But not only that, check this out. I'm going to use Zapple's ability again to blind Electri. So now they're both blind. So what blind's going to do now is if I if I attack with any of these mons, I now have to flip a coin and hope it lands on heads for my attack to land. Unless I have item cards or abilities to remove this, now I don't have the advantage. See how the tides can turn like that? Check this out too. I'm going to save this for something bigger because maybe they would do that, right? So since I know I have Zapple on the field, I'm going to play another Dire Iron Sword for Zapple because I want Zapple to have a little bit of an advantage here, right? So Zapple's attack goes up by 10. So now it has 40 attack. So now with its 40 ATK, I'm going to play Blockade because I haven't attacked yet, right? I haven't done any damage. I'm gonna use their hand to. I have to choose an action here. I'm gonna stop them from playing a Mon card next turn because maybe they can level summon, right? So they're gonna use Blockade to stop me from doing that. All right, so check this out. I'm gonna save this for something bigger. Ring of Singularity. That's what it's gonna be saved for something bigger here. Now that I have Zapple, I got 2 attribute points left, so I got 2 more times I can use this ability. And you'll see there's a status roll, remove with items or abilities. That's talking for blind for your opponent. And this little eye shows the blind, and it tells you heads or tails, whether it's successful or not. It's also in the big rule book and the mini guide for status effects, right? So status effects are in this mini guide. So if you go to page 29, right? We go to page 29. Boom, status effects, right? It talks about them. Blind doesn't do any damage, but there are certain ones, and you'll see that. Whoops. It's the big boy rulebook. It'll tell you about status effects here, and then it'll tell you how status effects damage calculation actually works. So now, they're going to attack. Electri's got 70, but so does Electro Dash, right? I have 40 attack. Well, Zapple's not going to knock him out, but we're going to attack. I'm going to attack Electri, but I'm going to show you now Electri's second ability. So check this out. It's called Lightning Jab, and it's a counter. So heads, successful, tails, I fail. Heads, opponent's Mon takes Electri's attack. Electri takes 25 extra damage plus the attack. Attacking Mon's attack when it lands on tails. So now I have to flip this coin. And I have to hope Electri's attack hits, because if it doesn't, I'll do that so it looks more fair. And it failed. So now, Electri takes 25 plus 40. That's 65 damage. So Electri has 5 HP left. And then that ends Zapple's turn, right? So Zapple's turn is action phase is done. So Electri's got 5 HP left. Alright, so now it's my turn. I got to draw. So now I'm in a kind of a crazy situation here. I can't summon them on because remember they use Blockade to block me from doing that. So now I can't summon them on. So I'm like, dang, what do I do here? So I can't do anything here. I could do. That would be a waste because they're both blind right now, right? At them on their Mon. See, I don't know what they're gonna draw next. Here's the one problem I have, and I can't summon anything because they use Blockade. So see the situation. Sure, I got 500 battle points, but if Electri gets knocked out with 5 HP left, I take 42. So I'm gonna use Bifrost Braum on Electri's action phase to do 50 points of damage to their battle points. So now they're down to 424, right? So there's a little bit it helps. Now Electro Dash, I can use Static Spin if I want it, right? And the cool thing about Static Spin is I'm not causing damage right away, so it doesn't actually, it's not actually attack. So blind doesn't, it's not going to do anything, right? So I'm going to use it to hit confusion on Zapple because of Zapple attacks. Now I could try to attack with Electro Dash, but that's a risk I have to be willing to take. And I'm gonna. He's got 70 HP, right? It's got 70 HP. So, oh man, do I take the risk? I'm not going to take the risk. I'm going to leave it there, and then I'm going to end my action phase for Electro Dash. So now it's theirs. I'm winning right now with 500 battle points, but it doesn't mean much because the tides can always swing. And let me show you what I mean. So they have Ring of Singularity, right? Both my Mons are blind. Zapple's now confused. They can look at my hand, swap an ability. Opponent's Mon or set one stat to 0 of your opponent's Mon to 0 for the next turn. So if it comes back, I could play this, and then I could be set to 0 on Electro Dash, and I would be screwed. But I'm going to save Mind Orb. So check this out. I'm going to show you why there's really no advantage if you think you have the advantage. These are just small and mid-tier Mons, too. This also gets an upgrade. I forgot to do this. Mine gets an upgrade. This also gets an upgrade, okay? So I should have took more damage, but that's fine because I didn't play it. I'll actually leave mine off because I didn't play it my turn. So remember, it can have a +5. So they're going to play theirs, another one their turn. So now Zapple gets another 10 attack. So now it's got 50 attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. So it's Zapple's action phase, right? So I'm going to attack. Well, maybe. It depends because Zapple is confused. So if I attack, I have to hope Zapple's attack actually lands. So guess what they got to do? Flip a coin. So I'm going to attack with Zapple, and let's hope their attack actually lands, right? That's what they're going to hope. So flip it. And it does. So Zapple's attack lands. Remember, he only Electri only has 5 HP. So Electri actually gets knocked out. And because of that, I lose 42, right? So since my basic math just sucks right now. Oh, Jesus. Alright, so I have 458. So now I'm down to 458. And this is why you never think you have the advantage in Monquest. I changed so much of stuff. Now that does end Zapple's phase, action phase, right? So I could play this. I could have played it before, but I chose not to, and there's a reason why. Because I'm thinking strategically as if I'm this player right now. Do I want to waste this card? No, I don't want to waste it. So Zapple's turn ends, and it comes back to my turn. So now I have Electro Dash, right? But now guess what I can do? I can summon a Mon because I was going to play Nywin, but Electri got taken out, so I can't use Electri. But check this out. I have a Zapple myself now. I could also do this. I might play this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Diola. This actually goes here because it got taken out. These are your attribute pools, okay, guys? You keep all this right here. This is your resources to use their abilities. So Diola, as we can see, can paralyze. So I'm going to start taking this to my advantage now. So Diola's got 5 attribute points. 4. And the way this works is they have their attribute points work like they're a mana pool in an RPG. That's exactly how this game plays. Is like a turn-based RPG. And I haven't even showed you the BP rule of attacking, but Mons always take from your BP when they're lost. So I'm at 458, they're at 424, right? So I have 5. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take advantage of this moment, and I'm going to make, not only is Zapple now confused, Zapple's also paralyzed, right? So I'm going to do that because I don't want Zapple trying to attack me now, right? I could attack with Diola, and I could probably knock Zapple out. which I don't know why I wasted the ability, but that's fine, right? I still have it there, but what I'm also going to do is play this just in case I get another Mon, and I'm going to use Protect. Stops an opponent's action targeting you or your Mons, keeping you safe from its effects. So anything that affects me, I'm going to stop that their next turn, right? Now, Dial is level 40, so I can't do anything with these two. But I'm going to paralyze that for now. And I will just attack anyways. Even though I paralyzed, I kind of wasted that, right? And that's fine. I probably should have played that a little smarter on that end. But Zapple gets knocked out. So check this out. They lose... I think Zapple was 10. Zapple was 10. So they lose 10 battle points, right? So now they're down to 414. I'm at 458. That ends this one's turn. Well, here's the thing. I could try to attack Electro Dashes. I'm going to take the risk and try to attack them for 20 battle points. But this is a risk because Electro Dash is blind, right? So I'm calculating damage in. So I'm gonna take the risk and try and attack with Electro Dash. Okay, it lands on heads. They take another 20 points of battle damage, right? So they're at 414. Whoops. So now they got 394. Whoops. So 394. And it looks like I have the advantage right now, and I do. Electro Dash is still blind. I haven't taken blind off, so I'm getting kind of lucky here. But that ends Electro Dash's action phase, right? Because I just did damage to BP or HP or AP, right? Or not just damaging them, but also healing any sort of thing like that. So now it goes back and it's their turn. This is why I save these cards, because if I'm this player, I'm thinking, all right, what am I going to do here, right? Now they don't have a Mon to play, so this is where the rule comes in that I was telling you about. All right, so they can either pay. It's called. Oops. Nope, I think it's page 13. Let's go back. Let's check page 1. Sorry, page 2. It's under turn structure. So this is a hand recovery rule. So now this player has to use the hand recovery rule, right? So they drew a card, but they didn't get a Mon. So if the player cannot play a Mon from their hand, they can choose one of the following: discard one card and draw one card, or lose 10 battle points to draw one card. If they had no cards in their hand, they would draw a brand new hand of 5. So I did this to stop games from stalling. So, like, usually you see in card games or something like that, you draw one card, right? But I did that so I could stop stalls and players would have a chance. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to think of this player. I'm going to get rid of Sentinel's Embrace, and I'm going to draw again. I still didn't get anything. So maybe I'm like, all right. See, and there's also a disadvantage to doing this as well. The disadvantage is you can lose by not having cards to draw, so decking out. So now they got a Voltairy. So they got a little bit of an advantage here. Check this out. Voltairy can paralyze now, so that kind of screws me. So, because Diola's on the field, right, and they got Voltairy, I'm going to use, it's 4, so I'm just going to put 3, because I'm going to use Voltairy's ability to now paralyze Diola. So now that puts me back at a disadvantage, because I have a blind and a disabled Mon. And I'm like, well, what do I do there? Well, check this out. It's not all over yet. Because I think Electro Dash is going to be a threat, even though it's blind, and I've done some stuff, I'm going to play Ring of Singularity, and I'm going to destroy Electro Dash. Now, here's the thing. You might think, oh, it'll end Voltairy's turn. Well, I have a destruction rule now in there, and because it actually destroys a card, not like discards it into the discard pile, right? It actually destroys it. It destroys Electro Dash. I still lose Electro Dash's BP. So I'm down to 448 now, right? But it doesn't end Voltaire's turn because Voltaire, its action phase, didn't do the attacking or the damage to any BP. It played this item card on its action phase in the item slot, and that's what destroyed Electro Dash. Not Voltaire's ability or anything like that itself. It was Electro Dash who got destroyed by Ring of Singularity. So now check this out. Now, let's say they want to attack, but Diola's paralyzed. So they're like, all right, I got the advantage. So check this out. We play the Bifrost Bomb. This is where this will count as BP damage. Because this is direct BP damage, this item card, it does affect me. But this is not direct BP damage. This was Electro Dash getting destroyed by an item card. So that's why it doesn't end Voltaire's turn. This is actual BP direct damage, right? It only affected Electro Dash. I only took the battle point damage because the item card destroyed it, not Voltaire. And it wasn't direct. It was Electro Dash's destruction that caused me to lose it. So anyhow, we're going to use the Bifrost Bomb, right? And that takes 50 battle points for me. So this is why I said you never think you have the advantage, because the advantage, I dropped closer to this player now. I'm in their level of this now. Now I'm at 398. So look, 398 to 394, and that was in a matter of a few turns. So then they're going to end their turn because they used the Bifrost Bomb. Now I get a draw. And I'm kind of in a predicament myself. I'm going to have to, honestly, I'm going to have to play Zapple. And I can't play Nywind. Or could I play Nywind? No, because I think it has, level 41 to 50 to level some. So I can't even play Nywind. I'm in a bit of a rut here, right? So we're going to play Zapple. And I can't attack with Diola. So Voltaire's going to sit there. I could attack Voltaire, and I will probably knock it out. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to give Zapple its cards, and I'm going to move forward to attack. Voltaire gets knocked out, and they lose 8 battle points. Damn, I can't do math at all to save my life right now. So 386, right? So now they're down to 386. So, look how close this battle still stays. This is the crazy thing. But then this ends Zapple's turn. I can't do anything with Diola because Diola is paralyzed. So that is now a disadvantage I have there. So now, see, they don't have a card, so now they got to pick to get rid of a card or battle points. Remember, this is that rule about hand recovery rule, right? So I have to make a choice here. What I think I'm going to do is just get rid of the Dire Iron Sword, and then they're going to draw. Now they got a card, so they got an Electro Dash. And this is where I'm telling you guys, is just never think you have the advantage. Just be like, I got to play the smart somehow. Because here's why. Now I can use Electro Dash's ability, and now I can confuse Zapple. So Zapple's now confused. But I'm also going to increase Electro Dash's HP, so it's got 70 HP now, and Zapple is confused. Diola is paralyzed. I can't do anything. But because I haven't done any sort of damage calculation, I could take out Zapple, right? I could damage the crap out of Diola, too. Because I want to make sure Diola gets taken out, I'm going to attack with Electro Dash. Electro Dash's attack is 40, right? And so that drops Diola to 35 HP. Now that's going to end Electro Dash's turn. And I still have this Mind Orb card. I'm not going to use it. But it comes back to my turn now. So I'm still in a rut because now I have Sentinel's Embrace, Dire Iron Sword, and Nywind. But I can't do anything with Diola. See, this is why I said don't think you have the advantage. Because now, check this out. Zapple can attack, but it's going to come at a risk. The only thing I can do is probably use Zapple's ability. Whoops. And I'm going to blind Electro Dash. So now Electro Dash is blind, right? I can't do anything. It's blind. There's a blind counter on it. But Zapple, I could attack. It's a risk I could take, but I'd take damage. So I am going to take the risk and hope it does land. That kind of flipped all the way. Okay, so I got it twice. Whatever. So I'm going to attack. Electro Dash has 70 HP. Remember, the Zapple has 30 attack. So now I drop them back down, right? To 4. They have 4. Electro Dash now has 40 HP. Zapple's turn ends. And Diola doesn't have much left. Diola's got 35. So this is going to be tough. They're going to draw a card again, right? Oof. Okay, I have 2 things here. I could attack Diola, knocking it out, right? But I'm going to use Electro Dash's ability again to increase my HP back another 40 to make it 80. I'm going to save the Bifrost Bomb. Or no, I'm going to actually use it because Electro Dash is blind. So I'm going to drop the Bifrost Bomb and do 50 points of battle damage. So now I lose 50 battle points. So that drops me to 348. See, now they have the advantage. See what happened? And these are just low-level mons. But this now ends their turn, and it's back to my turn. But what the hell am I going to do? Because now, I mean, I got Volteri, Dire Sentinel's Embrace, Nywin, but I can't really do anything. Because I have Zapple, and I have Diola here. But Diola's paralyzed. Diola can't do anything. I can take the risk and attack with Zapple, right? The only reason I didn't use Electro Dash to attack is because Electro Dash is blind. So Zapple is also confused. So I can take the risk again, but this time Electro Dash has got 80 HP. So I'm going to flip this coin, and I got lucky. I didn't take damage. So 30, so it's now Electro Dash has got 50 HP, but they have 1 attribute card left to either do it or not, right? So this, if they do that, they have no more AP points left, and they have, so that's where you got to think too, like, do I want to use my last one to like increase my health again? Who knows? But it ends my turn. It's back to their turn. Let's see what they get. They get a Cooney. Okay, so here's another advantage now. Now they don't even have to use Electro Dash's ability. I'm going to tell you why. Cooney has 2 things it can do. But remember, it has an action phase. So in its action phase, if I use Cooney to heal Electro Dash, it could be a risk I'm willing to take, but the blind is what's going to be tough. So I think I'm going to heal. I might. Actually, I'm not going to do that. If I'm the player, actually, I wouldn't heal. And let me show you why. Drop these in there. Okay, so we're going to save this pile of Cooney's attribute pool, right? And Electro Dash. Now, I know Electro Dash could attack, but it's blind, so that's a risk. Let's see what Mind Orb we got here. So, I'm going to play the Mind Orb, and what I'm going to do is say, they're going to say I can't play a card, a Mon card next turn. Because watch what they're going to do. Alright, so Cooney, we know they got 35 HP left, so we could attack with Cooney to that, but instead we're going to attack Zapple. Even though Zapple's confused. Alright, so Zapple gets knocked out, right? Oops. I lose 10 battle points. Now I'm down to 338. And then we still have Diola. But I could take the risk with Electro Dash. But remember, I got to flip a coin because Electro Dash is blind. Diola's paralyzed, so I'm going to take the risk. And it lands. If it would have landed tails, I would have missed the attack. So, because Electro Dash's attack hits, it does 40. Diola only has 35 battle points. So check this out. I lose another, or 35 battle points, sorry, 35 HP. Diola gets knocked out. And I lose 30 more battle points. So now I'm down to 308. I had the advantage earlier. Remember that. I had a massive advantage. But my hand is screwed. So now the rule here for hand recovery does not apply because remember they played the Mind Orb. So now with the Mind Orb played, I'm screwed. I can't do anything this turn. So what I have to draw a card. It is my turn, right? I got to draw a card. The only thing I could do is play the Bifrost Bomb. And now I want to mention too that during item cards do not have a page 27. There's a rule for item cards, and it is that, where did I put that? I think that's in the advanced section. That's recommended cards for deck structure. It's the design intent for it. That was for boss modes. I don't remember where I put this. It was a new rule I added. Okay, so item cards, their timing. Item cards may be used freely during your turn. Item usage does not require a Mon action phase, okay? During main phase, during Mon's action phase, even if no Mon is on the field, only item cards that specifically state ends at Mon's action phase. So anything that does damage, remember, this will end my action phase. I'm going to play it because it's the only option I got, so it drops them down to, what were they at, 386, so now they're down to 336. But I have to end my turn because I can't play them on, so I'm screwed on that part. Goes back to their turn. They have no cards in their hand, but they have the advantage right now. They got Darsoto, but they need a Darsoto Stone and Darrate to play it. So, because I can't do anything, now my field is wide open. Boom, Cooney's going to attack me for 20 more battle points. So, now I'm down to 288, right? So now I'm down to 288. Now, I could take their risk and attack with Electro Dash, and that's what I'm going to have them do. Because blind only makes you miss the attack, and they don't miss. So I just take 20 more battle point damage. I'm getting destroyed here if this is the case, right? So 268 is what I'm down to. Now it's my turn. Now I have a chance to try and do something, right? Okay, so I ain't getting nothing. I got 2 9-1s. I'm gonna play Voltairy, and I'm gonna paralyze Cooney. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna use Voltairy's ability to paralyze Cooney. So 1, 2, 3 because we used one of them. So this doesn't count as damage, right? Because it's just paralyzed. Electro Dash. I forgot what we said it had. I think it only had like 40 or 30 HP left. Or no, it's got 70 because I only did like, or no, does it? I don't remember. Oh no, it's got 50. That's right. Okay, so it's got 50 HP left. I did some, well, I don't remember exactly what let me see, hold on. I attacked it with Zapple. That's what I did. So 30, it had 80, yeah, so it's got 50 HP left. So now, I can attack Cooney or I can attack Electro Dash. Voltaire's attack only does 20. So I'm going to attack Cooney because Cooney will have 5 HP left. And it's paralyzed. But then remember, now my turn's over because that was my Mon's action phase. Each Mon has their own action phase, but because I attacked and did some sort of damage calculation, that ends my turn. So now it's back to their turn. They got a huge advantage on me right now. Oh man, they got a pip. Okay. So they can't really play a Mon right now. Cooney can't attack, but this is where I just took a little bit of an advantage now. Because Cooney is paralyzed. Cooney can't do nothing. Can't use abilities, can't attack. It's halted there. But Electro Dash can attack, but it comes at the risk of flipping this coin, right? And I don't want to waste Electro Dash's last ability to put its health up, because maybe it'll come in handy somewhere else. See, it's all about thinking strategically of what do I do here. Because if I use its ability, I can't use it again after this because I just lost my advantage of having an attribute point there. So what I'm going to do is flip the coin. I can't see. Okay. So it landed on heads. So it's a successful attack. But they're still blind. So they literally knock out Voltaire. And I got screwed again. Now Voltaire makes me lose 8 HP, so now I'm down to 268. Or 260, sorry. Now it's back to my turn, right? Because that ends their action phase. I gotta draw. Oh man. So I don't have a Mon to play. I have nothing to play. So remember, with the hand recovery rule, I can either give up 10 battle points, or I could discard a card from my hand. In this case, I'm going to discard Sentinel's Embrace. I'm going to draw again until I get them on. I can't do anything once again, so I got to give up something here. I'm going to give up Darsoto. I got to draw again. See, there's it. Oh, I got the Voltaire. This is the promo Voltaire drew versus the regular one. So now I can play Voltaire. So here's where I will take advantage of the situation now. 1, 2, 3. Because I'm going to use Voltaire's ability again to paralyze. So I'm going to paralyze Electro Dash because I don't want it attacking me. It keeps getting lucky with the attack, right? So then I got the Space Orb. Select and move one card from your opponent's battlefield to their hand, deck, or discard pile. Prevent an opponent from playing a card next turn, right? So I know I'm going to attack with Voltaire to Cooney. So I'm going to play the Space Orb, and I'm going to use Field Manipulation to prevent them from playing a card next turn, and I'm going to prevent them from playing a Mon card. So they can't play any cards that turn, right? I'm going to attack Cooney. Boom. Attack the Cooney. They lose 10 battle points. So they're down to, what is that, 326, right? So now I caught up a little bit there. But what's cool is Electro Dash is paralyzed. But I don't know what their hand is. I mean, I know what their hand is here. But now I thought as a player, okay, that's cool. I can do that. So now I get in a little bit of a comeback, right? So now we're going to get a card back for them. It's their turn. Damn. See, they can either play Pip or Voltaire. But I'm going to do this. Check this out. Because I know Voltaire. They're going to play Voltaire. They're really going to hurt me. Group. I'm going to use Voltaire's ability on my Voltaire. Whoops. Now my Voltaire is paralyzed. And what they're going to do is attack me with their Voltaire, right? Boom. I'm screwed. Alright, so they paralyzed it anyways because you could do that. I don't know why I did that. You don't necessarily have to. I didn't think about just attacking. But anyhow, my Voltaire gets knocked out because it has 20 attack, 20 HP. So then I lose another 8 battle points, right? So now I'm down to 252. Alright, so now Electro Dash is paralyzed. They can't do nothing. It's stuck there. Now it's back to my turn. Remember, now I'm back on, and now that I drew them on, I don't have to do the recovery hand phase. But check this out. I'm going to play Diola. Diola is actually pretty tough. But this is the thing about this game. You can never assume you have the advantage. Because the tides can turn at any moment. Right now, they have the advantage. Because their battle points are 326 minus 252. So I don't have the advantage here, right? But I'm going to use Diola's ability to paralyze Voltaire. So Voltaire is now paralyzed. But what I'm going to do with Diola is I know I can knock out Electro Dash, so I'm going to take Electro Dash out. Me taking Electro Dash out makes them lose 10 battle points. It had 50 HP left, remember that? So with that being said, they lose 10 battle points. 316. Stone Cold 316. Alright, so now that ends my phase. I should have put the Dire Iron Sword, but I'll save that. So now they draw a card, right? Oh, see if they... Okay, so if they had Darate, I think Darate's in their pile here. No, Darate's still in their hand. So if they get Darate and play Darate, they can do what's called equipment summoning to get Darsoto out. Darsoto has crazy defense. So you can... So I am going to make cards that can break through defense. I haven't finished every card in the game, But there are advantages to still breaking through a defense. Sure, it's got crazy defense, but it is still, it can still take poison damage, can be paralyzed. It can still have that, right? So there's still that. It can still be destroyed by item cards. But it does some cool things. As you can see, nothing's really broken, right? There's nothing that breaks. It's all, and I think it's because it plays more like an RPG than a card game. But it's my turn because, or no, they're going to play Pip. Sorry. They're going to play Pip, and what they're going to do is attack Diola. So I'm going to be dropped down to 45 HP on Diola. Now it's my turn. I'm going to draw. Pip doesn't have any abilities. This is one of the first cards I drew in the game. MO6 means Mon number 6. This gray dot in the corner means that they're a common card. Voltaire's a common card. Diola is a rare card, right? So, cool. Now I have this. So, I'm going to play Blockade. And I'm going to stop them from drawing a card next turn. That's the one I'm going to take. You can choose one of those. So, I'm going to stop them from drawing a card next turn. So, check this out. Then what I'm going to do is play... I am going to play the Dire Iron Sword on Diola. Remember, it gets its upgrade, so it's plus 10. So Diola's attack is now 95. And I can keep upgrading this every one of my turns. It comes back until I reach a plus 5. So when I hit plus 5, I get a max of 50 attack. But with that being said, I know, like, Pip can't... Voltaire's paralyzed, so instead I'm going to attack Pip. Alright, so now I have a little bit of advantage, right? They lose 10 more battle points. So now they're down to 306. But that ends my turn. So now it's back to their turn. Oh, I don't know why I drew. They can't draw. So what do they do this turn? They have to end their turn. So that gives me back another advantage I might have, right? So I'm going to flip this over, see what I get. So I could use this, but it would end Diola's turn. Diola still has, what was it, 45 HP. I could restore full health, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put this card here. So now I have 20 more attack, so 105. And I'm going to attack Voltaire because, see, there's my advantage now. Remember, they were ahead. So now I'm slightly starting to come back, right? So that's minus 8. Oh, God. Can't do my basic math right now. 298. So they have 298 battle points. See how close these games stay? They stay really close. So never think you have the advantage. Okay, now it's their turn. Now they can draw a card. But now they're in the hand phase of... Remember the rule, the hand rule. So now they got to draw. They're going to drop this card because they don't want to pay battle points. They're going to flip this card. Okay. So they don't need the stone, so they're going to drop that, right? They're going to draw another card. They have to do it until they get a Mon they can play. They have Blockade. So maybe they want to keep Blockade. So they're going to pay 10 battle points and drop to 288 to draw another card. Boom, they get Pip, right? Now check this out. They play Pip. They're going to stop me from drawing a card next turn. And then with Pip, they're going to attack me for another 30. So now Diola has 15 HP left. But then it ends their turn. Mine comes back. So now, and if you guys have questions, I don't know if this will make any sense to you what's happening. But I'm going to play Electro Dash, right? So now here's the cool thing about Monquest. I have to make a choice here for Diola. We know Diola has 15 HP. We could play a full HP potion, but I'm like, damn, do I really want to waste that? Because that ends Diola's action phase. So I could screw myself doing that. And then it would end the action phase. Pip would still be on the field. So you have to think about things like that. So there's 3, so 30, and then Electro Dash gets another 20. So it's got 60 attack. Diola gets another 10, so it's got 115 for attack. I think what I'm going to honestly do is I'm just going to attack with Diola, knocking Pip out. I'm going to keep the 15 HP and hope that they don't draw anything that's going to make it bad for me. Then they drop to 278. And then I'm going to attack with Electro Dash to him. But first thing I'm going to do before I attack, I'm going to use Electro Dash's ability to increase their HP by another 40 points. Oh, I'm going to group those together. Come on. Okay, so now I got to take one card, drop it off back into the pile. Electro Dash gets another 40 HP, so it has 70 HP now, right? But I'm not going to think I have the advantage. I'm going to attack for another 20, so that makes them drop. So now they're down to 258, right? So look how I caught up again. Remember, they had like 300 and something battle points left, and I was sitting in the 200s, but I caught up. But it's not over yet. They could still come back. They got 21 cards. Oof. Remember, so they're gonna take a battle point here because they want to keep that card in the hand. So they're gonna drop. Whoops. So they're gonna drop themselves to 248. See, here's the thing. You have to. Now they got Volteri, right? So they can play Volteri. They're gonna use Volteri's ability to paralyze Electro Dash. And because I didn't heal Diola, that was a risk I was willing to take, hoping they didn't get anything, right? So I put 3 because Volteri only has 4 attribute points, but it costs from the pool. Now they have the power up. Check this out. Your monster can't receive status effects this turn or during your opponent's turn. Damaging abilities of your mons deal double damage this turn. Or double attack. So what I'm going to do is they're going to play this so they don't take any kind of status effects. So they can't get anything done to them. I'm going to attack with Volteri. And now, Volteri, because Diola got knocked out, I lose 30 battle points. So now I'm back down to 232, right? I'm like, damn. Or sorry, 230. Is it 232? Yeah, it's 232. So now I'm down to 232 there at 248. See how close these games stay? And now it's back to my turn. Which I better hope I get something, because check this out. Electro Dash is paralyzed. I got another Diola. I still haven't been able to get Nywind out. Oh, this gets destroyed too. Now, I can paralyze Volteri, so that's what I'm going to do. Where did I put my paralyzed token at? Thought I had more over here. Oh, that's fine. I'll just take one from here. So now, their Volteri's paralyzed, is what I meant. Oh, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's 5. Yeah. No. Yes. So I'm just going to group those together. So now I use Diola's ability to paralyze Volteri. I don't know why I did that. I should have just attacked it. I keep doing that. And then I keep forgetting about attribute advantages. I don't really have an attribute advantage over it. I'm going to attack it anyways. Oh, no, I can't do status effects. I'm sorry. I forgot they played the power up. Sorry. I can't even do a status effect anyways. So, even if I wanted to, I couldn't. I'd have to just attack straight up. Knocks their Volteri out. They lose 8 battle points. So now they're down to 240. See how close these games stay? I can't do anything with Electro Dash, so I'm just going to end my turn. I almost forgot they use that. Oof. They're going to drop that card. Remember, they have to draw until they get a Mon that they can actually play. They don't have anything in their hands they can actually play. Okay, they got a Zapple. See, this is why I say you never think you have the advantage, because now they're going to use Zapple's ability to blind Diola. So now I got to hope my attacks hit next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I think it's 4, but I'm going to get rid of 1. The reason is because I'm using Zapple's ability. Alright, so now I can attack Electro Dash, who has 70 HP, because remember we used its ability, or I can attack Diola, who has 75. So I'm going to attack Diola because Electro Dash is paralyzed. So that drops me down to 45 HP. Alright? So now it goes back to my turn. Okay, so now I got a little bit of a leeway here. Do I want to save this card because Zapple only has 10 battle points that it loses? That's not much. I could use Ring of Destruction, but I feel like I need to save that for a moment where it counts. Because I can still try to attack with Diola, but I might not be able to hit it. I can paralyze Zapple, right? But instead I'm just going to attack Zapple and hope this attack hits. And I have to flip the coin. And it hits. Cool. So Zapple gets knocked out. Look at that. They lose the 10 battle points anyways. See, like I said, this is the thing about the game. It always has something to deliver here. So they lost 10 battle points. And I took a risk of attacking. But once again, I can't do anything with Electro Dash because Electro Dash is paralyzed. So now they got to draw. It's their turn. That ends my Mon's action phase, right? So, oh, buddy. They got Rotomas. So, here's the crazy thing about Rotomas. It's a tank, right? So, here's what you do with tanks. I could put them in, I'm going to put them in defense, right? I'm going to flip Rotomas to defense. So, you turn sideways for defense. Now, you can still use their abilities in defense, right? So that's another roll. So 1, 2, 3, what is it, 4? I already know I'm going to use Rotomas' ability to attack my battle points. So I'm going to group that. So I'll take 35 battle point damage, right? So now I have 232. Oops. Dude, I can't do math at all right now. What the fuck's going on? So I take 35. Now I'm down to 197, bro. Alright, so I have 197 battle points now. But that was direct damage, so it ends the Mon's action phase. So now this is where Ring of Singularity might come in handy. I got a Caterpin. So, do I want to use Ring of Singularity? They lose 16 battle points. Or do I want to just attack with Diola and hope its attack hits? This is where you got to think. You could take the risk. I'm going to use Ring of Singularity. And I'm going to destroy Rotomas. Now they lose 16 battle points. So, they're at 230. Now they're down to 214, right? So they got 214. They got 214 battle points. I have 197. This game is really close, as you can tell. So now I'm like, that ends that turn. I have Electro Dash, but I can't do anything with it. I have 2 high-level Mons. I still haven't been able to play them. So they draw a card. They got Bayor, but they can't do anything. So now they're going to take another battle point risk. They're going to lose 10 battle points and drop to 204. Draw another card. Oof. They're going to let go of the attribute potion. They're going to draw another card. Oh, Electri. Okay, so I'm going to make them get rid of Electri. They're going to think like that. Confusion Counselor, they're going to get rid of that. See, this is what happens if you have to get them on. They're going to get rid of that. They only have 11 cards left, so either they're going to deck out, and I'm going to get lucky there that they did. Neurosync Band. Ugh. We'll take the battle point loss. So 194. They'll draw a card. So they might not get... Oh, they got another Rotomas. Now I can't destroy... See, this is where you never know. You literally never know. Rotate it. And they're going to do... They're going to do Rotom... Actually, no. Yeah, okay. I'm going to play Rotomas, right? I don't even need these. Because check this out. I can play Rotamas as long as I don't use Sludge Strike to do 35 battle point damage. I'm going to get rid of Rotamas. I'm going to level summon it for Bayord. Now I'm going to use Bayord as my card. So now you might think, oh damn, they got a powerful mon here. But it doesn't give them the advantage still. But they're going to use Snowbound Assault. Or not Snowbound Assault, sorry. They're going to use Arctic Blade to freeze Diola. Now Diola is frozen and blind. I literally can't do anything with Diola now. Now check this out. We know that Electro Dash has 70 HP, but it's paralyzed, right? Well, we're going to attack with Bayord straight to Electro Dash. You see what happens here? So you never really truly have the advantage. And I lose 10 HP. So now I'm down to 187. And I can't do anything with Diola now. Now it's back to my turn. Right? They could attack Diola, but the reason I didn't is because, and they could get a huge advantage because I attacked Electro Dash first, because Bayard's probably gonna, they're probably thinking I'm gonna come back and attack them because I froze them, so they can't do anything now anyways. So now I have to draw. I have 18 cards left. They got 9. So, okay, so I could paralyze Bayard, right, and then attack him, or I could poison Bayard. I have to think of what I'm going to do here, because I still have to take Bayard's HP out. So I could slowly dwindle it down with poison, or I could paralyze. I have to hope I get something, because it doesn't mean I can just do it, right? So check this out. I'm going to use one of Voltaire's abilities to paralyze Bayard. So Bayard's paralyzed. Now, I'm going to attack with Bayard. I can't attack with Diola because it's frozen and it's blind. So check this out. I have no attribute advantage. This is weak. Or wait. Sorry, I'm not looking at the right thing. So I have no attribute advantage to attack. Diola I would have, right? Diola, it's weak to grass. The bottom where it says weakness, it's weak to grass, but I can't use Diola because Diola is frozen. So I'll just attack with Voltaire to Bayard. So I take 20 points from its HP, so now Bayard's got 60 HP. Ah, that was a dumb move on my part. I didn't think about this. See, you're gonna see why. Boom, they're gonna play Pip. You're like, oh, what's the big deal? Neurosync Band, unparalyzed Bayard. That's the big problem. Alright? So, check this out. I'm going to attack Diola now. Boom. Remember, I was ahead there for a minute, right? Well, Diola gets knocked out. I lose 30 battle points. And it's not over yet. Pip's going to attack Voltaire. Voltaire gets knocked out. So I lose 38 battle points. So I'm down to 149. 149. Now it's back to my turn because that ends their turn, right? Neurosync Band can go back here. But they only have 8 cards left. I have 18. And look at the battle points. This is getting interesting. So we're going to draw. I have a Neurosync Band. Well, I have to play Caterpin. I have no choice but to play Caterpin. I can't even get rid of anything for Nywin. That would be nice, but what I'm going to do is go 1, 2, and I'm going to poison Bayard. So Bayard now loses 10 more HP. What did we say it was at? 60, so now it's down to 50. And that counts as damage calculation because I did poison with its ability Dirty Bomb. So now that ends Caterpin's turn. It's back to their turn, right? They're going to flip. They got a Zapple. Well, they can't do anything right now. So Caterpin only has 20 HP. Now, it doesn't matter. I'm going to use Bayard to attack. Oh, also, he gets another poison counter. So every turn, he takes poison damage. My turn, that player's turn. So now they're down to 40 HP. They attack Caterpin. I lose 5 battle points, right? I'm going to actually lose 25 because I'm going to attack with Pip as well. So because I lose 25 battle points, come on. I'm down to, what is that? 124. It's back to my turn. See, now they're beating my butt. Okay, well, I'm going to play Electro Dash. Oh, Bayard takes another poison count. 30 battle points. And now Pip is there. So now I have to make a choice. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 4. So I'm going to use one ability right now. I already used it. It's going to increase my attack, or HP, to 70, right? I could do it again, actually. I'm going to do it again, so that way I can take Bayard's attack, because Bayard's not going to be dead. It's got 30 HP. It'll drop to 20, but I could attack it. But then I have to worry about Pip, right? So I'm going to try to make my HP as high as I can. So 40, 40, 80, so 110 HP, right? So I'm going to attack Bayard with Electro Dash because I know I can knock out Bayard, right? But it's going to end my turn. And Bayard gets knocked out, they lose 25 battle points. So, this is my... So 169 is what they got. So now, it's getting close. Well, I haven't even played a boss mon yet, and neither have they. So, it's back to their turn because I have to end my turn now, right? Oh, man. They're going to play Chert. Oh, but... Oh, wait. No, they can't. Oh, wait. You know what they're going to do? Sorry. What they'll do is they'll level summon Chert by getting rid of Pip, and then they'll play Zapple. Bravo! I'm about to be on the chopping block here. 6 attribute points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Check this out. Chert could use Restful Stone to put Electro Dash to sleep, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So Electro Dash is now asleep. Zapple. I could blind him, but instead, we know Electro Dash has 110 HP, right? Well, since they know that and I know that, what they're going to do is Zapple. I think it's 3. No, it's 4. They're going to attack me with Zapple. Boom. And they're going to take 30 from my 110. Alright. So what does that drop me down to 80, right? So now I have 80 HP. So I'm down to 80 HP. Oof. I don't know why I put him to sleep, but I'm going to attack with Chert too, because Chert will knock me out because it has 200 attack. So see, I'm not thinking about certain things I should have been. And it gets a double advantage, so I don't know why I put him to sleep. I could have just attacked. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. You'll get the idea. It gets double, so it has 400. So that knocks Electro Dash out. Zapple and Chert here. So now he has like a high to mid-tier level Mon. But I lose another 10 battle points. So I'm at 114, they're at 169. So like I said, never think you can have the advantage. Oh man, see, I don't have a Mon I can play, so I have to follow my rule about... It was on page... This is my quick rule book, so if you guys want to play test this in Tabletop Simulator, there's a community or a workshop link inside the description. So page 17. So if you weren't here, this hand recovery rule. So I have to choose whether I want to discard a card or pay battle points. Since I don't got much left, I'm going to just discard a card and hope I can draw them on. No. I'm just going to discard this, draw again, and I still didn't get one. I'm going to discard the Kundo Stone. The Soto Stone. Sorry, that's the Soto Stone. Oh, I can't do anything. We'll just discard Antitoxin. See, this is the bad part. Oof. Okay, so I can do... I'm going to search through my deck. Oh. The only problem is if I bring them back, I can play this because I don't actually have a mon on the field. So it actually doesn't count. It's still their recovery phase. But I have to have... Here's what we'll do. We'll use Phoenix Feather to get Electri back. And now with Electri, right? And now, so, this counts as its turn. It gets its half its HP back and half its attribute points back. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to level summon Nywind for it. Because I didn't do any kind of battle calculation, and anytime I didn't have a mon on the field, so this had to count as its turn, right? Oh wait, I can't do that. Let me explain. I made a mistake there. I can't do that because I forgot I have to follow my own rule here. I have to keep the Phoenix Feather. I'm done. Sorry. I gotta draw until I get it. Okay, so I have to play Caterpin. Now, let me show you. I won't waste that. This will be a better thing. I get Caterpin. I can level summon this Electri. Then I can level summon Nywind, right? Now, I don't want to play Phoenix Feather yet because I'm going to show you why. Now I can use Nywind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, Nywind has 500 attack, and I got Chert there, right? So Nywind, I can use Hurricane. So I have two choices here. I can use Hurricane Punch to attack both Mons, knocking them out, leaving them at a disadvantage, and it would take a massive, decent battle points away from them. I could use Phoenix Feather and revive a Mon, but then it ends Nywind's turn. What I'm going to do is use Hurricane Punch. And I'm going to attack Zapple, and I'm going to attack Chert. Now that's a total of 40 battle points. They lose 40 battle points, right? So they're down to 126. Oh, whoops. They're 129. They're down to 129. See how close this still stays? But I have to end my turn. It goes back to their turn. Okay, so what they're going to do is play Cooney. And here's... Oh, buddy. See, there's always something in there. 1, 2, 3. And Cooney is going to use Renewal. Okay, so I want to talk about this too so you guys understand. It has... Each one of those abilities cost the same amount from the pool, right? The reason is... attribute pools and costs are only tied to level, right? And so are stats. And so if you look, Cooney is a fighter. So Cooney has high HP, high defense, but lower HP, right? Because it has the higher attack and defense. That's tied to the stats. But level is tied to attribute pool and stats. And this is how I'm able to calculate how much their attack's going to be, their HP. And then usually I take about 25, 30% depending how I feel. And then I take the amount of battle points I think they should lose based off their level's HP. So that's how I was able to calculate around 10. I can't remember how much it was exactly I did, but I typically try to balance it where it feels nice, right? Cooney's a rare mon, and we're going to use Renewal. So what Renewal will do, right, is I don't have Darate still. So I could do a bunch of things here. I could revive Chert. I could revive Volteri. I could revive a lot of different ones. But instead, I'm just going to do Chert. Or maybe Chert. Or I'm going to do Chert. I'm going to show you why I'm going to do Chert. So I'll bring Chert back. Chert gets half its HP, right? So half of its HP is 75, right? So it gets 75 HP. it might seem like that's not much, but here's what's going to happen. It gets half of its attribute points back as well, so it gets 3. Cooney's turn ends because it brought them on back, giving it its HP back. So, remember, and it'll tell you, actual, using any item ability that alters AP, BP, or HP ends a Mon's action phase. So remember, I could have played this Phoenix Feather, but I had to draw. So I couldn't actually play it. I had to draw until I could actually play something. But this ends Cooney's turn. Cooney can no longer do anything. But now Chert has its own turn because it was brought back, right? So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Restful Stone on Nywin. Put Nywin to sleep. Nywin has 550 HP, but Chert has 200 attack. Because Chert's a fighter, it can attack. So it's going to attack me. Right? So I'm going to be dropped down to 350 HP. And that ends Chert's turn. But now I'm asleep. Okay, so now it's my turn again. I'm going to draw a card. Oh, I got a Boss Mon. So check this out. I'm going to get rid of, it's called level summoning, right? So you get 1 Boss Mon per deck. And anything level 75 or above is considered a Boss Mon. If you form summon to anything level 75 or above, so there's different forms, that's considered a Boss Mon. Equipment summons are not considered Boss Mons, but I'm playing Xenodermis. This is one of the Ultra Beasts in my game, and it's tied to the lore. I have all the lore on my website. It's a lot to go over, but check this out. Xenodermis has a 10 attribute pool, and check this out. Oops. So now, this is why I said you never just think you might have the advantage. Sure, you put him to sleep, but that's not going to save him from what's about to happen, right? Because thinking you have the advantage doesn't mean you do. And I don't want to play Phoenix Feather, because if I play Phoenix Feather, then what's going to happen is I end Xenodermis' turn. And then it brings another Mon back. So I have a bunch of things I can do. I could destroy a card. I could use Gale Force. Then I could do 50 points of BP damage, right? So we're looking here. Xenodermis is weak to rock, though. So Chert is rock. Cooney is there. Okay, so here's what's going to suck. I can take him out, right? So I'm going to take out Chert. Or, no, I'm not going to attack, sorry. I'm going to use its ability to destroy a card. Now, remember, whenever a card's destroyed, it's going to take Chert's battle points. Because Xenodermis isn't attacking it directly, it doesn't count as battle point damage. Chert, they lose 30 battle points now, right? So they were at, I forgot, 129. They lose 30. They're down to 99. But check this out. I'm going to do another 50. I'm going to use Zephyr Strike. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I only have 4 attribute points left out of the 10 because I used its ability. And that ends Xenodermis' turn, so they get 50 knocked out. So now they're down to 49. And it jumps back to their turn. They get a draw. I don't know what they're going to get. So, they have Cooney left. All they can do here, they could revive again, right? So let's search and see what they got. So, they could revive and put Xenodermis to sleep. So that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to use Renewal again. So they're going to use Renewal again. See, I might look like I have the advantage. 114 to 49, but we'll see what happens. They get half their attribute pool back, right? 1, 2, 3. Was it 6? Okay. So now, they get half their attribute pool back. That, remember, Cooney's turn ends because he revived me. I get half my HP, 75. Not my HP, but they're going to use Restful Stone and put Xenodermis to sleep. Now, they can attack Xenodermis. So he's weak to rock, right? So that's 400, and Xenodermis has... Jesus. So I have 300 HP left, And if Xenodermis gets knocked out, I lose 210 battle points where it says BP, and I lose the game. So now it comes back to my turn, right? So I got to draw. Alright, so I'm going to play Zapple. And I'm going to do... If I get 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to hope I can do something here. Let me explain why. I'm going to use Zapple's ability Blind to blind him, so I'm going to use Flash, right? I'm going to blind Chert. And Chert's blind, right? So then I'm going to attack with Zapple. It's got 75 HP. I drop it to 45 HP. Now I'm going to try to attack with Xenodermis. But I have to flip a coin because it's sleep, so I can wake up if the coin lands on heads. Let me flip that so it actually... Okay, so I got heads. Cool. It wakes up, right? Xenodermis is awake. Now, this is where I can attack it, but it won't end its battle points, right? So check this out. I'm going to do its ability again. Use Gale Force to destroy Chert. Chert gets destroyed. They lose 30 battle points here. So they're down to 19. But then I can't use Zypher Strike because I don't have enough. But I didn't attack, so I'll attack Cooney. And I think that'll end the game. Nope. They literally have 9 freaking battle points left. So Cooney gets knocked out. Because now they can't revive, right? Shoot. They have 4 cards left. They're going to draw. Oh, whoops. Oh, see, they got a Bossmon, but they can't. They have to draw again. So they either are going to deck out. Oh, man, this is going to suck for them. Flip, sorry. Oh! They're going to play Darate. They're going to play this. It's called the Soto Stone. They're going to summon Darsoto. They're going to flip them to defensive mode. See how the end game comes into play now? Look at that. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6. Now I might be screwed. We're about to find out though. Check this out. So Darsoto. I only have 300 HP left with Xenodermis. Oh, buddy. What's this do? Attacker defense 0. Resurrect a mon from a discard pile. Oh, but see, that would end Darsoto's turn. So instead, I'm going to use Darsoto's ability. And I'm going to hit Xenodermis with it. I lose. I frickin' lose. Do you see why you could never think you have the advantage? Because Xenodermis got knocked out. I lost 200 battle points, and they had 9 left. I lost. I lost the game right there. So every time I've tested this, all these games have played out with crazy things like this, where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna win, or they're gonna win. One time I was playtesting it, they decked out, but they didn't win that one. Or I thought I had the advantage right here because I had Xenodermis, but I only had 300 HP. They used Darsoto's attack, and the reason it can attack and defense because defensive mons can attack and defense. But I got screwed there because if that's a crazy thing, if a player gets too cocky, you know, you never truly have an advantage like you think. Because they had 9 battle points, and then they used Darsoto's ability to knock Xenodermis out because it only had 300 HP, and I lost. I had 114. So, I don't know what you guys think about that, but if you're watching the whole thing, that's how the turns play out. That's how things play out. That's how cards can be played. You got to be strategic. You got to think, oh, where do I go about this? How do I do this? You got to use that to your advantage. You got to think, man, what do I do here? And you never think you have the advantage because you'll never have the actual advantage like you think you do. You got to play it smart. You got to think, man, what's going to happen here? So you can play test this. I have the link in the description. There are 2 different decks. You can change out these cards. There's more cards in here. You know, you can do like, maybe you want to try Dark Mare out, or you want to try Darkundo out. I don't have a lot of equipment cards, so I just keep most of the equipment cards I do have. I'm still working on drawing a lot of things for the game. But as far as mechanics go and things being balanced, it is very well balanced. I've tried to break the game multiple times, but the cool thing is there's always like a cost for something, you know? Like Xenodermis, sure, I had him on the field, but the cost was losing 210 battle points and losing the game. Using its abilities are heavy cost. Darsoto even has its cost. Sure, you're in defense mode, but you have to keep using its ability attack, and you're using 2 out of your 6, leaves you with 4, and you keep doing that, you're going to run out. And sure, it's got a defense that is going to be hard to break unless you have a Mon that can actually damage its HP from its defense, right? Like Xenodermis could have done that. 720 attack to that, you would subtract it from its HP. But Poison can do it. You could paralyze Darsoda, couldn't do anything. So you have advantages like that, but there's never like crazy combos that just destroy the whole thing, right? So sure, you can, as you can see, you could blind or poison or paralyze, do things like that, but it never stopped the play. It never stops the player from feeling like they don't have a chance to win. There's always a chance to win. There's always something there that gives you a chance, and that's what I think I've done really well in balancing out. And I went and had to rebalance those things for the past few days because there was a lot of stalls. And there was a lot of stalls because it was more of a deck optimization thing, but also there was a lot of stalls because of I had too many item cards, right? I thought, oh, it's like an RPG. But then I didn't think about the card mechanics of, well, when you draw a card, if you don't get them on, it ends your turn. Well, I changed that. So you either had to, and you can see the decks get really close. This is usually how the games end. 1 card, 8 cards, very close in battle points, things like that. It ends, there's a lot of times it ends really close. But I had to change the stall pattern. So I changed the deck optimization, right? So if we go here, I added a bunch of rules to more rules and mechanics necessarily things to optimize the game. I added them. It was I forgot where I put it under. Oh, deck structure. Sorry, that's what it's under. So did I even put it in here? I don't know if I have that in here. Oh, no, that's decking out. I don't even have that in here. I'm gonna have to fix that the manual on that. That's weird. I don't have that. It's in here. I don't know why I don't have that in there. But anyhow, I don't. Okay, that's gonna confuse me. I'll have to fix that and add it in there. But anyhow, let's go see what the page was. I know it's further down. It's like 46 or something like that, right? Right here, yeah. So 46. So I don't know why I don't have deck structure in that. But I changed a lot of things here. So low-level mons you have more of because you want to be able to draw mons if you can. And it gives you a little bit of an advantage to have that many. And I lowered the mid-tier mons to 4 to 6. Boss mons has always been 1. And I never had boss mons at first, but I changed that because I felt like I didn't want players just to be able to play 2, 3 overpowered cards and then you not feel like you have anything, right? Item cards 13 to 15. These are just recommended. You could try whatever you want. 5 to 6 equipment cards. And then, you know, that's the best I thought to optimize for the deck. But that's the thing is, like, I set it up like that, and then I have the hand drawing thing. That's on page. See, I just did this too. Oh, turn structure over is page 17. I still need to get deck optimization in there. But, how to play the game, page 16. And it'll tell you who determined how to go first. Hand recovery rule. So with this hand recovery rule, right, you either have to draw a card or give up battle points until you have a mon you can play that's level 1 to 40. With that, but let's say you run out of cards, right? Let's say you have no cards in your hand. The other thing about that is, if you have no cards in your hand, then what happens is you have to draw 5 cards again. So that was another thing. Another thing I added was you can chain level summon now. So let's say they had Cooney out on the field, and let's say they had Chert in their hand, right? So they could level summon Chert, and then they could level summon Ligon. So then they would get rid of Chert, and they could level. And the thing you can do before you finish the chain, right? You could use Restful Stone, and the reason you could do that is because it doesn't end Chert's turn, because it's not applying any sort of damage. Boom. And then they could summon Ligon, right? So Ligon would be summoned onto the field, and that would be a chain, a level chain. But like I said, just because you do this, as you could see, does not mean you have an advantage, because I had Xenodermis on the field, and I still lost. I had a Bossmon on the field, and I still ended up losing. And they had 9 battle points, and I still lost the game, because Darsoto, they were able to put Darsoto in defense. This isn't even a Bossmon. This is below. It's like a high tier Mon, but its ability to do it in defense did 300 damage, because it's more of a defensive Mon. Sure, it's a fighter, but it has a higher attack. This is the only exception you're going to find in the game where Darsoto has a lower attack, lower attack than defense, because it's based off of lore. So the lore of this is tied to Darate, okay? Now, you have 2 different stones. You have the Kundo stone and the Soto stone, right? So the Kundo stone, and they do different things. Defense plus 40. So, and I didn't even calculate the plus 40 to Darsoto's abilities. So he would have actually had 340. I still would have got knocked out either way. But you can see these equipment pieces give them upgrades. These are passive upgrades, but you can't upgrade the card like you could with the Dire Iron Sword. You can't apply upgrades to it. Then there's Darkundo, which is right here. So this is Darkundo. Now Darkundo is also a fighter, but it has higher attack and lower defense. This is tied to the lore. These Mons are from different universes, different dimensions, all kinds of things. It's tied to how these stones interact. So if you put the stone on Darate, you put the Kundo stone on Darate, it'll turn to Darkundo. If you notice something about this is an image from a movie where they're fighting. This is where I got inspired. And their Soto and Kundo are from 2 different actual martial arts styles. This is from Bruce Lee's style. Bruce Lee did karate. He had his own fighting style, right? I forgot what it was called now. I gotta remember. Soto is what it is. Something Soto. I forgot exactly what I did there. But then you have Darkundo. Darkundo is based off of Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. So that's why it has a higher attack and lower defense because Darkundo's faster and has quicker attack speed and higher attack. It could do dual strike, like hit multiple times. Whereas Darsoto has this type of karate that Bruce Lee did is better, or Chuck Norris did is better defensively because it's like almost like a taekwondo. I can't remember what it's called. Let me look it up really quick. Chuck Norris. It's called Tang Soto. So that's why, okay, and it's there's various forms of karate for it, right? It's a form of karate, but he has different forms, but this or different types of karate he did, but this is the one I picked. In the movie, if you look, he almost has more of a defensive stance when he's getting ready to fight Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee is more off casual, like he's kind of still defensive, but he's more offensive in a way. So that's what that's based off of. I got inspired from that scene in the movie to make them, but then the stones are what tie to their abilities, right? And these stones come from their worlds, and they land on Earth because their worlds get destroyed. All these creatures' worlds, all these Mons' worlds get destroyed because Xenodermis, this boss Mon, clashes with the other Ultra Beasts, and it destroys universes and opens portals these Mons go through, and the Mons go through these portals, and what happens is they get put in different timelines, different dimensions, different universes, different realities, things like that. So the lore of it can, like, it stays the same. It's all canon basically to that universe or wherever part it's at. So in the main story, this card game, which I have turned into a video game I'm working on for it called Dimension Unleashed. It's called Monquest Dimension Unleashed. It is tied to the same world that the Mons are in now in the modern time, where they use a monochip to catch these creatures, to put them in like a sanctuary to protect them, because they were used for war. They're used for creatures of war. That's what they used them for, right? Humans used them for that reason. They used them for war. But this is canon to the actual world in there. Here, I'm going to show you my okay. So this is my game dev doc sheet, right? I'm not trying to pitch it, but I'm just keeping track of what I do, because this is what I learned in game design school. You got to keep track of it. So it's a role-playing game, narrative-driven world exploration, adventure, trading card game. It's going to be PC primary until I don't really have a dev kit to make like a Xbox or a PS or a Switch version. But it's a single player is the primary experience. There's going to be optional multiplayer, trading, PvP battles, and online tournaments. E10, so there's fantasy, violence, mild thematic themes, and it's like it's an RPG, essentially. That's how the world is going to be. Okay, so this is my first part. This is my world setting. Okay. Ancient era. So they think that Mons came from this one era, but it didn't, because it's tied in the same world. Because remember I said it can go to different timelines. What ties into the ancient era, where these stone cards are now, they're the powerful cards. Okay, so they figured out in that time era you could capture these Mons and stone cards. So they capture Mons like Xenodermis and stuff. Modern era rediscovery. So this is where it begins, and you can see this. Ruins stand beside modern cities, and ancient relics are discovered, and I'm going to apply my art style. It's going to be a 2D, probably like a 3/4 view. The presence of Mons. Mons are living beings that exist naturally within the world. I wouldn't say naturally, they exist. They naturally do now because they had to adapt. They are not mythical constructs, illusions, or artificial creations. In the modern era, Mons are studied scientifically, trained, traded, and battled in regulated environments, integrated into daily life, culture, and competition. So they're part of the world, but the card game became like a thing part of it, right? So this is just a video game. I'm showing you guys some of this stuff. Cultural impact and battling, exploration and geography. And this is how you do a GDD, game development documents. This is actually for the digital game I'm working on. Your role. It doesn't reveal Ultra Beast. So I have all this in here. The monophone is another structural thing. But yeah. So this is just a playtest. If you guys want to playtest this, I have a link in the description for Steam, and you can playtest this in there and go at it all you want. If you have questions, you can always message me. You can go to the website, any social media links. I have all the rule books here. Yeah, so I would love for you guys to playtest this. I still have a lot of work, a lot of drawing to do. So I haven't showed a lot of this off, but here's some of the UI for the actual game. These are just placeholder people, but it'll work very similar, right? This is how it's set up. This is actually dead space, but I'm going to use it as an information box. This is how it's going to work. It's going to only be an information box. As you can see, it's dead space, right? This is just showing like if you're hovering over a card. It's going to play the exact same way. Here's the rules. I'm taking the whole mini rulebook that's in here, and I'm going to apply it inside the game. There's a pause menu. There's that. Same one. If it's not selected, that's like if it was selected. I made it like that at first. And then this is like if it's poison, puts a green border, tells you it's poison. It'll tell you how much HP is left. It has 20 out of 50 HP. And I'm still working on this. Here's that quick rule book. It'll use that. I'm not going to do 3. I tried that at first. It's going to be 2 so you can see it better, but there's 1 right here. But yeah, so that's some of what I'm working on for it. I haven't showed too much of that, but there's a playtest, guys. I finally have a playable playtest on the field here. I changed a lot of things, and if you guys playtest it, I'm always going to take like feedback and suggestions and things, and anything you give like that, I'm going to use it. I'm going to try to make the game better and better every time, because this is about the community and what the community wants to build for this game, because I really want this to be something you guys enjoy. It doesn't need to be this big AAA thing, whether it is or ends up or not. I'm fine with that, because I enjoy what I'm doing with it. I love the passion about it. I enjoy sitting doing these playtests, drawing the artwork. But yeah, I just want you guys to playtest. I want you guys to, you can playtest it with me if you want to play with me. We can do that. You can playtest it with others. There's a Discord I have. I'll put that in the description. I didn't put it yet, but I'll put that in the description so you guys can join the Discord and we can do voice chats and playtest it. And well, I think I'm going to end it there because that was a really long playtest. But yeah, you guys can totally playtest this. You can change out cards. You can try different things. You can try to break the game for me. I want you to try to do things that maybe you break the game or something, you know. And if you have questions like, hey, can I do this during this turn or whatever, give me a message. I'll definitely answer any questions. Just let me know. And yeah, guys. So I thank you guys, whoever came out to watch me play test it. I might do more play tests once I add more cards. We're going to definitely get back to artwork as well on here. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. And I thank you guys for coming out and checking out the playtest. Like I said, I'll add the Discord in the chat, and I'll catch you guys later.